solidarity, and you're supposing society is under American law.
Well, personally, I define freedom as um, expression of self in relation to our constitutional rights, specifically the Bill of Rights. I can't remember. I think we have about 12 or 13 um, rights, such as basic human right to live, expression, to hold organization, right to privacy, and many others. That's how I define freedom. I define freedom in relation to my um, individual right based on the Constitution, specifically the Bill of Rights.
So when we say freedom, it always associates to liberty, free will. Many scholars, writers, philosophers always associates it. But I simply define it as the way you act, the way you think, the way you express, without any intervention from the others or without any obeying commands from the others. It also refers to the way you interpret your freedom based from the Constitution, based from the natural law, based from eternal law.
So talking about freedom, we have different types of freedom. First one is that we have the freedom to decide on whatever or anything about life. So we have the freedom to decide whether what kind of course you would like to take in college. So you should not be controlled by any other person to choose the course that you would like to take. Anything that you would like to do, you should not be controlled by any other person. You should not be controlled by anyone. You should not be dictated by any other person. Even though there are some criticisms when it comes to our decision making, there were some other people who will tell us that your decision are not good, that your decision is not correct, that your decision should be like this and should be like that. Any kind of decision that you made, it will always be depend on the person who is doing that thing in order to achieve his goal or his dreams in life. So that's all about freedom.
When we have freedom, we are intended to have or we are vested of what we call right and privileges. Because of excessive use or misuse of right, it is being abused by some people. We cannot use our right for our own productivity or for the welfare of majority or the welfare of the community as a whole. So, if we are vested of right or we are entitled to exercise it, we should exercise it correctly for the welfare and for the good of our own and for the good also of the community. If we have also privileges, which this privilege is only entitled or vested for some, you should not abuse it, but rather use it to help others, to help your community. Kasi if we are overuse it, this is now the door to abuse the freedom that we are exercising right now.
Freedom is rather sensitive and can easily be abused. For instance, in our cause to give voice to the unheard, um, if we don't exercise it well, we might be accused of um, malingering or maligning people's voice. What's going on right now, especially in social media, is the proliferation of fake news. And at the other end of the spectrum, if freedom, in my case, freedom of expression, is not utilized properly, it has room for abuse. the glaring issue right now in the Philippines is human rights abuse, so-called Operation Tokhang. And you see them on television every day where um, poor folks who have either been accused of using or selling drugs are found dead. Um, the question is, how come only the small peddler or user are killed? What happens to the big time pushers and manufacturers? How come they're never found? Um, so internationally now, the Philippines is being um, watched because of human rights abuses. Um, that's an extreme example of abuse of freedom.
When we talk about abuse of the freedom is that we are doing anything even though we know that that thing might cause us some danger or might cause other people some disadvantage, might cause them a bad situation. So when we are deciding, when we are having that freedom to do anything that we want, make sure that we also have to consider other people. We should also consider the result of what we are going to do. We should also think about what will happen if I do this. What will be the result if I will do this? What will be the result if I will say this? What will be the result if I will choose this path? So that is the freedom. Even though we have the freedom, we should also be a critical thinker when it comes to decision making and choosing anything that we want in life.
To me, the biggest form of freedom is personally the freedom of expression or communication. As a person who organized a group called Liberate, and our thrust is advocacy. When we created our organization, we wanted to give voice to the people who are unheard. Our objective is to create a medium through our organization for people to come to us and express their needs, their desires, their issues, so that we can present that to the right people who will listen, the right politician who might listen, member of the church, and and because of that, I value my freedom of expression as the highest form of freedom.
Our freedom that we are exercising right now, ladies and gentlemen, was inherited from a patriot people, was inherited by to our national heroes, to our heroes that gave their own life for the sake of the country. So as a student, we should value it. Ano? We should exercise the freedom in a productive way. We should exercise the freedom in a way that it is for the welfare of the community. It is for the welfare of the society, not for your own sake, not for your own personal agenda. Okay? So you should do your freedom, you should exercise your freedom in a way that you will be a productive, and also the community that you have, that you can help your community on your own way. Okay, so this may be the message from me as a student also like you.